YouTube, it is a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Just finished a run, so we're going to make an iced Americano without me spilling it. The perfect pour. On a note, today's YouTube video, we are going to cover the importance of tracking your numbers, because oftentimes I would say that is one of the most overlooked things. And as you probably see from my blueprint videos, it is the first thing I do every single day. I see how many people hit my site. I see how many people scrolled. I see how many people went through my CTA. I see how many people started my quiz. One of the businesses that I run has a quiz page, and then they answer a bunch of questions. They consume content. It's forced consumption. They hit the paywall and they conversion. How many people hit the page plan, everything like that. Being able to visualize going step from step, your client seeing the ad, then clicking into the ad, going through the funnel and seeing where they drop off, are where I have made some of the simplest changes that have led to a 3-4x in some instances. As I just said, I came back from a run. But first, you need to figure out what creatives are working. Figuring out what creatives are working is a hard thing to do, because oftentimes the creatives that look like they're doing well, they have a lower click-through rate, they have a lower CPM, aren't the ones that generate the highest quality leads. And trying to navigate that, not an easy task. Right now, one of the apps that I'm doing, I am inside of the TikTok business suite, and going through these campaigns, I mean, TikTok's a wild beast when it comes to advertising. It's just not as easy to target who you want to target compared to Meta. But for apps, a lot of people think TikTok is undefeated. For e-com, a lot of people think Facebook is undefeated. It really depends, again, who you're targeting. But going through all of the metrics from yesterday, like one of my ads has a $13 CPM. That is expensive as hell. But the click-through rate and the quality of people coming through that are so much better than my campaign where my CPM is sub $2. So I'm paying, 6 times more for that traffic, but you need 6 times less the people to get the same amount of conversion. So really, what is the answer? Okay. Do we get a lot of shitty traffic that is 6 times cheaper? Or do you get a lot of high quality traffic that's 6 times more expensive? And these are all things that honestly are pretty hard to test on the macro. You see a lot of people post videos. They'd be like, oh, all you got to do is run a CPO campaign and blah, 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 blah. Let the creative find its way through. But that still doesn't always equate. Again, depends on the product. If you're e-com, it's a little bit more simple. But when you're running an app like this, some of the shitty traffic is getting through the onboarding, but they're not buying. And then some of the good traffic is not finishing the quiz, but when they finish the quiz, they end up buying. It's a very interesting thing. And if you've never run ads for a product, if you have a business, I highly recommend you do it, because it will show you leaks in your business faster than anything else. Like if you sit down and spend $500 on ads over a week, you will figure out more about what you don't have than what you have, and you'll flip your whole entire business around and be like, okay, we have a huge issue. But nonetheless, I'm working on a new app. I have the original one. I have the original 2. They're doing good. but I want one that's mass market, mass target. I want to be an absolute madman in terms of scaling. Just to see, I've always run local products because the conversion rate is higher and it's easier to target, but they do have a ceiling. And to get to like the next level where you're doing huge acquisitions, you know, somebody's maybe coming in from private equity trying to purchase your business, you really do have to be a mass market product. I have only ever had one other product where I've targeted the United States. Obviously, I live in Canada, so we're very close neighbors. This new product, I want to have one where I can target the United States. The way that their online purchasing happens is a lot different. Obviously, they have TikTok Shop. In Canada, we don't have TikTok Shop. They have different types of ads they can run. Even their TikTok ad manager looks different than the Canadian one. The campaigns look different, like just the whole entire thing. Like when you open them up side by side, it's different. It lets you run different types of ads. It lets you run Smart Plus campaigns. It lets you run different types of everything. And that's kind of common across the board. It is different place by place as rules are different and regulations are different. But anyways, I wanted to run a product that I could have in the United States of America because the Canadian dollar is down 40%. So although you don't really feel the impact of living here, but a lot of my products, changing them to USD, targeting an American audience, you automatically make 40% more. But it's a little bit confusing because I keep spending in CAD and then receiving in USD. And my ad manager is in CAD, but everything else is in USD. So a lot of the times the metrics are kind of off. And training the pixel is also off because it has my purchase price in USD, obviously because it's an American product, but it thinks it's in Canadian. So the tracking has been a little bit on and off, but we're only 7 days in. Numbers look good. Our creatives are great. I just think the targeting is a little bit off. We're going on a little bit of a ramble here, but the one thing is truly seeing your numbers and seeing where they come from. Let me see if I have some of them here. Okay, I'm going to show you guys one for a blueprint that I built out. You guys would remember this is a fitness one. This is not the product I'm talking about right now. I wish it was because they are killing it. So this is what I mean by tracking your numbers. And this is just a basic overview. Pretty simple dashboard. I'm just inside of Figma right now. This is beneath the entire build out. But seeing here, how many people landed on the quiz? How many people started the quiz? How many people finished the quiz? The quiz demo is, roughly $7.50 cost per lead. How many people hit the plan page? How many people checked out and purchased? The whole point of the quiz is to increase conversions. It's forced consumption. They have to see this and this and this and this. They go through upwards of 42 steps. It changes depending where you live. If you live in North America, it's 44. If you live overseas, it's only 38. That changes with the way that they target through SMS, through different things that you just can't do or you don't want to do because they're not worth it. For example, targeting overseas is not worth sending the SMS texts. Their phone numbers are different. The delivery rate isn't as good, and they don't purchase as often as North Americans do. So this is what I talk about going through these numbers. I go through these numbers in all of my business. And even if you just get a notebook, and write down how many people are hitting your website, how many people are doing this, how many people are doing that on your sales side, you're going to discover some things. But most importantly, do it on the creative side. How many times are you posting? How many views are you generating? How many people are clicking the link? Are you getting most of your sales through stories where you post your product and then link it? For most people, that's true. Are you getting most of your sales from reels? Are you getting most of your sales from ads? And then figuring out what one to scale. Because once you get a product, to $25,000, $30,000 a month, Then it's just a numbers game. It's okay, where's our highest quality traffic coming from? You can see with this one, spending $10,000 on meta ads, $2,000 on TikTok, organic search. They're doing a lot of stuff on social, which helps boost these numbers. And they do get a little bit messy because people will see the organic post, they'll go to the site, then they'll get retargeted. Some of these people would have bought anyways. So the attribution gets a little bit messy. It's not too bad. But doing things like this will completely change the outcome of your business. It will change the way that you perceive your business. And a lot of the times it will make you either change businesses or change the way that you're positioned or the audience that you're targeting when you can see everything in one clear dashboard. This was just a little rant today, but it's Saturday. This is my favorite day to work. Saturday, Sundays, because nobody's calling me, nobody's texting me. Most people are off, and I'm getting a call right now, so I gotta jump. Peace, comment, subscribe.